a lot of people, they're all getting on to my grandson in Australia and America and all them countries, and they all want to know something about myself. So that's why I'm just telling now, so that they'll all know a little bit about my life. I had 7 brothers. I had Neddy, Philly, Michael, John, Dennis and Jimmy, and I had 2 sisters, Kathleen and Alice. My mum's name was Katie and my dad's name was Philly, and my dad was a soldier for years and years in Kansas Barrack. We had a little house shop in Farden Ferris Avenue in Spandle Hill, and it was great for all the neighbours around because all the shops used to close at 6 o'clock in the evening, and if they want a package of fags or something, they'd have to go to Shandon Street or down to Blackpool. So they were all delighted with the shop. And at that time, people had hardly nothing, and all the neighbours, well, not all the people, but some of the neighbours then would come in and they get their few messages on the book, and my mother would give them a little notebook and they write down in their book what they wanted, and then when my mother would give them the messages, she write down in our notebook so that we know what they be after getting. And then on a Friday evening they come in and they'd all pay their money what they be after getting the messages for the week. And they were all really very honest people. They used to all come in every Friday night and pay their bills. And we were very happy until the corporation closed down all the house shops. My dad was a soldier in Kansas Barracks in Cork for years, and he was a cook in the army. And all my brothers then, when they all came of age, then they were all messenger boys. And when we were all at home together, we had a very happy childhood with all my brothers, and we used to have great fun with them. And we making it every night. We did putting on concerts, and my brothers would be dressing themselves up, and we used to have great fun. We had a very happy childhood and a very happy home when we were all young. The first night I met my husband, he was a soldier in Kansas Barrack, and every Tuesday night there used to be a dance in the barrack, and we used to all go up, myself and all my pals, and that's where I met Eddie Dean at the dance up in Kansas Barrack. And we were going to go another din for 12 months, and after the 12 months we got engaged, and then after the other 12 months we got married. And I was a terror for cleaning the house. I used to be mad for cleaning, and the day I was getting married, when we came back, I didn't want my mum to have anything to do when she came back from the wedding, and I wanted to have the house lovely and clean for her. And I was getting married at 3 o'clock on St. Stephen's Day, and at 2:30 I was kneeling down the ground inside the kitchen, scrubbing the kitchen floor at 2:30, and I was getting married at 3 o'clock. But that morning I was after having a bath and everything, and I was all ready. And my dad came into the kitchen, and when he see me down washing out the floor, he said to me, "Are you getting married?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "It was 2:30 now, you get married at 3 o'clock. And I said, "I know, I won't be long getting ready." And my dad said to me, "If you don't want to get married now," he said, "you needn't bother. You can change everything. If you don't want to marry, don't get married." So I said, "Dad, I'm getting married, all right," I said, "but I just want to have the kitchen nice and clean for my mum when she come back in the house." And I said, I won't be long getting married. So I said I had a bath that morning, but my knees was all black from kneeling down cleaning the floor, and I just got a wet cloth and I wiped my 2 knees. I went upstairs and I got ready, put on my wedding dress and on my clothes, and I was ready and I going down to the chapel in 10 minutes. When I got down anyway, we were about an hour late going down to the chapel, and when I went up to the altar, Teddy, and he said to me, I thought you weren't coming at all. I thought you were going to leave me there. And he said, I'm after counting all the flowers up in the altar, and he said there's 57 flowers up in the altar. So that's what Eddie was doing while he was waiting for me to come. But I must say, he was one of the best husbands in the world. Couldn't have meeting anyone better than him. Very good father and very good grandfather and very good to his daughter-in-law. And the only thing is that he died so young. He was only 45 when he died from a major heart attack. When we got a little bungalow then up on top of Fair Hill, a lovely bungalow. It was only, they were only after being built. We were there a long time then. And Mr. Fennell's supermarket used to close at 6 o'clock. So Eddie and myself, we decided we open up a small little shop. So we started off anyway, opened the hall with the shop. And we used to sell minerals and sweets for the children at night, and fags and all the little things, and oranges and things like that. And it was very busy. Everyone used to be coming in. And all the young fellas then, and the young fellas with me own Timmy then. Timmy then was about 12 at that time. And all the young, his chums then, they'd all come in at night. And I gave them all a fag and a book. And I gave them the fag, and they'd be all delighted to go away then, and they'd all have a smoke. They were all about 11 and 12. And if I ever met any of them now, they'd always say, Mrs. Royal, remember your shop? You used to give us all a fag and a book. And then every Friday night, they used to all come in and pay me for their fag. So we were kind of happy old times. And then after a while, like my mum's shop, the corporation closed me down. And if I didn't close down the shop, that over before that then I was after moving the shop into the bedroom, into one of the bedrooms, and we got closed down then by the corporation. So they were all going mad over my little house shop up in the top of Fair Hill. And for years I used to deal in Coal Street in the coal quay. And I was in there for nearly 25 years, selling the second-hand clothes. And also, we used to have great times in there. And after I got a bit of heart trouble then, and then I couldn't be dragging the clothes anymore, and I had to pack all that in then. So I was lonesome then after Coil Street. But after a while, you get used to it. But we used to have great fun down in Coil Street, and every Thursday morning then, I used to bring in my radio with me and my tape, and about 11 o'clock then, up at the part where I was selling, and I put on my tape under the tape recorder, and it was all waltzing and all on the tape. And then we'd all be waltzing, and then after a while all the fellas used to come up, all elderly men, and they used to love the waltz, and we'd be all waltzing around for about a half an hour, and you saw all delighted with it. And then there was one, my friend's Mary was her name, she stayed in Out Latimer Centre, Mary Leahy, and Mary had a terrible tongue. She was an awful curser, and she'd be cursing the whole morning. And there was one elderly man, and I met him one day up in the North Mill Street, and he told me, he said, Nora, he said, I goes up to every Thursday morning, but he said, I only goes up to listen to Mary cursing. He says, I has a great laugh for her. She just scream. So poor Mary died here some time ago now, Lord have mercy on her soul. But we had happy days down at Coil Street as well. I just want to tell you now that we have a load of cousins in Wyoming, Virginia, in America, and they're all my dad's people. And when my dad was born, he was only a couple of weeks old and his mother died, and his father went away to America and he left him there with relations, and then his father went out to America, and when he went to America then he changed his name from Leahy, he changed his name to Donoghue. We don't know why he done that. And we had a bit of fun with one of my brothers. He said that he must have been on the run from the guards when he changed his name. And so he married again then in America, and he have a big family in America now, all sons and daughters, and we never see them, they never see us. And when my dad's father went to America, he never bothered with my dad no more. He never wrote to him in all the years, he never sent him nothing. And my father never even seen his father. And like in later years, like when my dad was married and all, he was still alive, and he could have sent for my dad to come over to see him, but he just never bothered with my dad. And we never see him, we never just know who he was, but the Lord of mercy and on their souls now. A lot of people there, they be getting on to my grandson, and they want to know about the goiter that I have in my throat. Well, like in the olden days, they used to call them goiters, but now they call them thyroid glands. But I have that now in my throat since I was 17 years old. And as I said, I'm 85 now, and thank God, only once it ever affected me. And when it affected me then, I got a heart failure, and I was in the mercy for about 6 weeks. But I was grand then when I came out, and thanks be to God, no blessed Mother, I don't have no more trouble. And I'm under Professor O'Halloran in the regional hospital, and that man is looking after my thyroid gland for me now. And he's a lovely man, and I goes out to him then, out to the regional hospital to get me checked up. And that's a bit about my life now, because all the people in the foreign countries, they're all mad to know something about me. I just want to tell you that we have an awful lot of curtains in Wyoming.
Curtains?